All right. Fill us in on Tiger Woods. How excited should we be?
Well, the ratings yesterday, Dan, were up 200%. That's not an exaggeration. That's a joke. I mean, you and I have been doing this forever, and that's a joke. The crowds that I've been coming to this tournament forever. And this tournament, I mean, I've been coming to literally for however, like 10, 12, 15 years. This tournament is always good. It's always well attended. But yesterday was a zoo, man. It was crazy how many people were out here. And it's all because of one guy. I've never seen anybody in sports move the needle in his or her sport like Tiger. He's leading right now. He's at 4 under par, tied for the lead. He's playing early today, so he won't be on television later except for highlights. But he's going to put himself in the mix for a Saturday and Sunday run tomorrow afternoon, and it's going to be crazy atmosphere around here.
Finish this sentence. If Tiger wins this tournament this weekend,
he will vault himself like Phil did last week into the discussion of top favorites, top 4 or 5 favorites at Augusta in 4 weeks. And you could genuinely say that he is back for the first time. I don't think you can say someone's back in the stature that Tiger has put himself in on his resume the last 20 years until he gets the win. I think he would say that too, Dan. It's nice to play well. It's nice to put yourself in contention. It's a whole other thing to cross the finish line. If Tiger gets a win this week or next week at Bay Hill before he goes to Augusta, you have to put him right there in the mix as far as guys who are top favorites to win the Masters.
And you could see yesterday with reaction shots with Tiger, even if he didn't have a great shot, that like I haven't seen him smile this much in a long time. And I know when you talk to him afterwards, you know, it's almost like he realizes this is so fleeting and I have it. Let's enjoy it as much as I possibly can. That doesn't mean he turns off the competitive light switch here, but there seems to be a little more joy in Mudville here.
Dan, how many athletes have you spoken to in your career, on and off the air, where they'll tell you, you miss the competition, you miss the games, but you miss the guys the most. You miss the locker room the most. Now, there's no locker room atmosphere in golf except for when there's a long rain delay, but it's totally different than team sports. But what Tiger missed the most was competing against the best. And, man, he's enjoying the ride. Now, you can make a strong case, Dan, that he was the best player of his era and one of the greats of all time because he was so focused and so singularly honed in on trying to become the greatest player in the world, and that perhaps him dialing it back and enjoying the ride this time compared to last time might, hinder him in trying to get back to becoming the best player in the world. But it's nice to see, Dan. He's grown up. He's a much different person. He's way more engaging with fans, with other players he's playing with everybody in and around the game. And I don't think it's going to hurt him one bit as far as trying to get back. But we'll see how focused he is when he's in contention. It'll be interesting to see what he's like. Thursday and Friday, Dan, as you know, totally different than Saturday and Sunday. I'm curious to see if he is in the lead or in one of the last couple of groups, how he reacts to tomorrow. Because that's a big spot, even for someone who's done it a million times like he has. Tomorrow is going to be a very, very big spot if he's in one of those last couple of groups.
Paulie brought this up. Let's fast forward to the final round at Augusta, and let's say it's the back nine and it's Phil and Tiger paired. Who would America be rooting for?
Oh, man. I've always thought in sports, look, Jack was the greatest player of all time. Arnie was the most popular. I've always thought that the best players are not the most popular because America roots for the underdog. But in this case, I think Tiger is the underdog. Tiger is the guy who is making the comeback from all of the things that happened to him away from the golf course, all of the health injuries that happened to him while he was competing. For him to come back, a little bit of a softer Tiger, coming back, being more engaged, I think that Tiger would be the reason that everybody is watching, and I think Tiger would be the more popular of the two players in that particular spot in 4 weeks. But, man alive, would that be something if those two played together? Oh, my gosh, that would be massive.
And we had Phil on yesterday, and he said, watch Tiger. He's always one-up me. He goes, I win. Watch him win this weekend. And then all of a sudden, Tiger goes out and puts himself in contention. So the last person who's going to be surprised at this is Phil Mickelson.
Without question. In fact, Phil last week when he won, those couple of minutes you get before you go live, you almost get a better deal with them for a couple of minutes than you do when you're actually on the air. Phil was talking about, coming back and getting back in the fray and being frazzled and being nervous and his nerves being shot and how great it felt and all that kind of thing. So Tiger, on either Tuesday or Wednesday this week, was asked about Phil. Now, you know that those two never really got along when they were both at the top of the sport and at the top of their games. Now it's a little different. Just like Jack and Arnie, they got along much greater later in life than they did when they were competing against each other. So Tiger said he was inspired by watching Phil win. He thought it was great for Phil, great for the sport, and great for him. It gives him a little bit more hope that, at the advanced age, although Phil is 5 years older, at the advanced age, once you get into your 40s, it's so hard to win, Dan. I think that Tiger has a great appreciation for what Phil did last week, and I think it's going to help him not just this week, but moving forward this year.
He's first team all lobby bar, no matter where that bar is. He's Steve Sands from the golf. Don't you love that?
I would say it's a cheap shot, but the truth hurts.
Have fun there this weekend. We'll be watching. Thank you, Steve.